So, 3 hour game jam. A 3 hour game jam. I've just done it. I built an entire game in 3 hours. So, how on earth is that possible? It is possible. I've proven it. One of these is my submission, and the entire game has to be developed in 3 hours. But there's a catch. Well, it's the opposite of a catch. It's something that makes it easier. What's the opposite of a catch? It's a throw. There's You have unlimited time to prepare. So you can only develop for 3 hours, but you can spend as much time as you want designing, not designing, like not building art, but like creating a design document or like coming up with the idea or like thinking of the mechanics. But any of the actual development, creating the art, creating music, coding, any of that has to be done within the 3 hours. And it's the first time I've actually put a game out into the world, I think, which is crazy to think. But it's a really good motivator to actually get something done. And it was a lot of fun. It was a whirlwind. So the theme was a phone call. So let's check out mine. I'm gonna have a little look at it. Um, Already got some lovely comments, which is super lovely. Obviously, everyone understands that you only have 3 hours. I think the expectations are matched according. So this is it. It's a mystery. It's a murder mystery. So I can't play it the whole way through because that would spoil the murder. But I just want to show a little bit about what I'm actually doing in the code. So there's an introduction where you talk a little bit about. Um, oh, is that audio coming through? Lovely, lovely. I'll get to the audio later. But basically, there's a story. Please go and play it if you want. It's okay. It's okay. You don't. Yeah. Maybe it's not worth it. But basically, you're a detective. You've come upon a manor where there's been a murder. And this is it. This is the game. It's a it's a menu. I thought I'd try something different, but you come upon this manor. Here's a map. Look at how beautiful this is. My girlfriend did this art. That's why it's actually good. So there are these three suspects, Ava, Bell, and Carlos, and Dr. Sterling is dead, and you have to solve it. So basically, you have this phone, and you have 18% battery on the phone, and you get to ask 18 questions of these three suspects to try and work it out. So there are 12 questions you can ask, and three suspects that you can ask them of, which means there are 36 possible like lines of dialogue that you can find, and you have access to 18. So you have to like use your detective brain to pick where you think the information is hidden into what actually happened. So you ask a question and you get a response, and your battery goes down, and then goes down again, goes down again, goes down again, until you kind of run out. So I won't actually show you. Oh, I just showed you a bug, but we can talk about that later. I won't actually show you who the murderer is, just in case you want to. Just in case you want to play it yourself. But if I click one of these, it will reveal the answer. And then there's credits at the end. So that's the game. And now I'm going to do a little bit of a code review. I wanted to just talk a little bit about my process, because 3 hours is so wild. I really kind of went back and forth between I'm going to finish, I'm not going to finish. But yeah, so let's let's jump into it. Basically, it went down absolutely to the wire. I'll explain one more rule. If you have teammates, so my girlfriend did the art, they get their own 3 hours as well. So what you're looking at is the product of a total of, let's say, 4.5, 5 hours work. I did three. Exactly to the second. Basically, I really went to the wire, and my girlfriend did like 1.5, 2 hours doing all those drawings. So that was really cool. So this is the game. This is the Godot engine. So I've been using it for maybe like 4, 5, 6 weeks, something like this. So I don't know everything. I thought I'd use this as a chance to challenge myself. I've made some games like 2D, played around a little bit with 3D. I've used the physics. I feel pretty comfortable, but not at all with like menus and stuff. So that was one of the inspirations for making a game that's basically navigating a menu. But here we are. So this is the main script, and all it does is load the different scenes. So if we jump to something a bit more visual, we've got the intro scene, which is just a bunch of text and some music, and you can left click forward, right click back. That's quite easy. Then you've got this scene, which is named 3 phones. Obviously, having 3 hours, you don't have enough time to correct any poorly named things, which is going to be a theme for this review. And this has got a whole host of stuff. This is quite messy. I mean, you can see some alarms going off, some cautions there, but it does work. You've got the main, which this is the scene that loads all the other scenes in. I've got a scene for the profile picture, so this is its own scene. So over on here, you can see that there's just a little bit too much code to like write it all in there, so I split it out. Ideally, you'd maybe split out the whole phone or something. I'm not sure, but I just wanted to keep all the buttons and all that together. It got a little messy, but it worked much faster than doing it properly. And if I click one of these, there we go. So final reviews the answer, so I can do that. And this is just 3 buttons, and you can click those. So let's take a look at the code. So the main scene, it starts with this scene called full text. So I would perhaps give it a better name if I had more time, but it's a full screen of text. It starts with that already loaded, and then I just kind of preload all the other scenes, and then I use this structure. I've never done this before, but what I do is I just have these functions, and each of them kills the previous scene, Q3 deletes the previous scene, and it loads the next scene, and then it connects to a signal. If you know Godot, you know what I'm talking about. It connects to the signal that's going to tell it when to do that again and connect to the next one. So this code, I think, is pretty messy, mostly because it does the exact same thing every time. So it kills the previous scene, and then it builds the next scene, adds it as a child, which is a Godot specific thing, and then connects to the next function. It connects the next function to the signal, and it does that all over again. And then I've got a bit of code in here. So obviously what I would do, what I'd probably consider doing is come up with some kind of general purpose function, which would basically just kill the current scene. And I would keep track of what the current scene was in some kind of variable. You can see like, there's no variable that actually tells me what I'm doing right now, right? If you were to pause the code at some point, you don't really know where it is. It's just like off running another scene. So I'd keep track of the current scene. I think that would just be a little bit nicer, way more readable. And then I would definitely make some kind of function that kills the current scene and loads the next scene that you're supposed to that you're supposed to load. A nice thing about this architecture, as it is that all of the logic of which scene to go to does exist in this file. So that's like, I think, quite a good thing about it. What I wouldn't want to do is like have inside the scene, I wouldn't want to have like, for example, like just to make this a bit more visual, like when you run out of battery, this scene knows you've got to go to the scene where you pick who the murderer is. And it's nice that this scene doesn't determine where you go. It just says, oh, battery is dead, you handle that. So it's like encapsulated in that sense. And so then in here you say, yeah, I know where to go next. You've told me that you end it. I'll determine where we go next. So that's quite good. But just, this is very, very scrappy. So this is something that I'd like to explore in the future. I think, what do they say? Necessity is the something of invention beginning. So it was quite nice to come up with, I guess, like architecturally quite a clean solution, but I didn't have time to think about how to write this nicely. So that was a cool moment. So let's just take a look at this full text screen. So again, all it is full screen text, but it does have the ability to click forwards and backwards. So I've got these buttons. So let's look at the input. I've got click and click back. So you go forwards and backwards. And then I've just got like this 50 IQ. Like if you've clicked too far back, then just set it. So this, I always find it funny when you let the variable go beyond where you want it to. Like if you go too far, if you set this to a number that doesn't exist, then you just like set it back down. I don't know if anyone understands what I'm saying, but I always funny when you let the variable go beyond the bounds and then correct it. I don't know. It's pretty normal. Maybe it's not that funny. But basically, here's the text. I would obviously want to put this somewhere else if this were a bigger project. For example, I'd be thinking about translations. I'd be thinking about a different contributor would probably be working on this. So I would want basically a different pipeline of getting this text into the game. So just writing it into the source code it's what you do in a game jam, but obviously a slightly bigger project, maybe you'd have a JSON file that was somewhere else, and if you want to take it more seriously again, then you would have some translation software or something like that outputs some kind of file type, hopefully JSON or something easy to read. CSV obviously is another way to do it. And then you keep, then you just kind of load it up in here when you start the game. So this is super simple. You just like look at the click forwards, click backwards, and it just has one button that pops up at the very end. So if that's not it, plays the sound. Oh yeah. If you go far enough, if you show all the lines of dialogue, then you display a start button. Which I'm sort of realizing, is that button actually there? If I run this, does this button exist? Doesn't seem like it is. Yeah. Okay. So I kind of thought that hiding. Oh no, show hide. Yeah, so that works. You can tell I'm like still learning Godot, but there's a bug to do with buttons not being visible that you can press that we're just about to get to. So that was a little bit of a call forward for you. Now we get to this screen. So this is the three phone screen. So what is all of this? This is all the text. This is basically what the game is. So as I said, 3 hours to develop this game, and this was 90 minutes. This was legitimately half of the entire time was writing this. So I sketched out an idea for all of these. Like I knew approximately what I wanted to say, but this is a dialogue-based game. Dialogue's going to count towards the time. This is like, an artist making art or whatever. So this was a huge time sink, and I really thought I'd be faster at it. I thought I would just be pumping it out, and I was like now that I've done it, I think 90 minutes is quite fast to get all this out, but it was definitely budgeted maybe like 30 for or 45 for that. So this is all the clues. This is like all the things that happen, the things that people say. So if I were to do this again, or if I were to spend more time on this, I would definitely basically just get feedback from game testers. The jam's not finished yet. The judging period is still going. So I'm curious to see what people say. Really curious to see what aspects people like. But I know already that this game is way too hard. There's too much reading. Like the art's cool, the idea's cool, etc. But I think if I got 100 people to play it, I don't think even 90 would finish it. Just because it's too like, I think it's just too difficult. And the story it's quite rich. Not like, I think I got a little bit carried away. Like there's this whole event that happened in the past that's referenced that you have to piece together, and then there's like the murder itself that you have to piece together. And it all, yeah, it's like, it's a fun story. I think it's a good story. It's just told in this incredibly inscrutable way. I mean, like the story itself becomes inscrutable because of the way that it's told. So this yeah, this is again same comments about the code, right? You would put this somewhere else in the code. The rest of this file I think is mostly okay. Setting up these variables is quite nice. So I've just got references to the labels, to the profile picture, the map, and quitting the map, battery. And then I think this code is mostly okay. So what I basically do is just start playing some music when I'm on ready at the start when you load the scene. And then we set the current suspect ID. So that's just 0, 1, and 2 for Ava, Bell, and Carlos, which you'll notice I named ABC. That was just as much for my clarity as much as the player's clarity. Display question answer. So I think this is fine. What this code does, you obviously play a clicking sound every time you click, and show the new screen. Chat. Oh, I'm just realizing, is that even supposed to be? Yeah, this is when you click one of the buttons on the side. So if you click one of the questions on the side, this script will run. It'll play a clicking sound, update the battery. So take a percentage point off, and obviously if it gets to 0, you say game is over. Then it just updates the text. So these variables refer to these text boxes here, this one and this one, which I really just eyeballed. I just put them approximately in the right spot, and some of the questions are very long and they get very close to the end, which is the kind of thing that you can't worry about under time pressure. And then this, I was very happy I had time for this. It was borderline a bad decision to include it, but this is me remembering what question was the last one. So if we run this scene, if I click what is the nature of your work and then go to Bell and then go back, then what is the nature of your work is still remembered. So there's a variable last question ID. It's an array. So at the position, the current suspect ID, I put the question ID in there, which is why I can load that up later when I click back to it. So I got clicking buttons left and right. You'll see that they're like kind of gross because I made them in Paint, because I even had GIMP, the like free Photoshop. I had that open and I was doing other stuff in it, but I just wanted to be even faster. So made the arrows in Paint, which is why they just have a white background. Just heard some knocking. I think that's unrelated. You can press left and right. You play the click button, and then again we're just cycling left and right, and then set screen is that same function from before. Oh no, sorry. Set screen is obviously setting the profile picture. So there's a lot of knocking going on. We're hoping that's okay. So the profile picture is this scene. It's responsible for the three sprites, and then just like hiding and showing them, and then the script just changes the text as well. So this code again is a little bit 50 IQ, because the first thing you do when you set a new person is you hide all of the scripts. You hide all of the sprites the images, and then you show your one and change the text. So again, you would just keep track of what the current one is, load it into the current and show it. But the 200 IQ move sometimes is to do the 50 IQ move, and that's definitely true when you're going on the clock. So we set the profile picture, and then we just set the text, and we get this monstrosity of a line here. I wrote this, immediately realized that it was, too ugly for anyone in the real world to accept, but I knew it would work. This is horrible, but basically we're just grabbing that last question ID that we set before, and then looking at these answers, because the answers are a two-dimensional array. So the first dimension talks about which suspect you're dealing with, and the second dimension talks about which question you're dealing with. But yeah, that's pretty fine. And then here we have a little bit of a bug, which is this is a huge shortcut that I took. When you click the map button, which, by the way, thanks to my girlfriend for doing such lovely art. This is so cool. When you do the map button, the map, it's just in front of the screen. None of this actually goes away. So it's all there, and you can click it. That's what some of those warnings in the sidebar are about. So you can see I've got 18% battery. You click map, and then you click a bunch of these, and oh look, I'm down at 13%. So that's a bug, obviously, and it's because what I'm doing with the map is I'm just like visually rendering it in front of everything else. But in terms of the UI click order, that uses something different. So that uses the same order that it had previously. So when the mouse clicks somewhere on the screen, it doesn't actually use the visual ordering, it has a different ordering. So there's an inconsistency right now between how the game is getting drawn to the screen with the map in front of everything and the return button in front of that again, and the like logic of the game where the buttons are still actually the first thing that the mouse will touch. So that's a bug. You can completely waste all of your battery. You can see it says -10. That's not a bug. That's because I'm currently running only this scene. Don't worry about that. But you could go, you can go to 0 and you'll move on. So this is a hack, a complete hack. But it took a minute or two to write, so that's fine. And now I think this is the ugliest code that is in the whole project, and that is every single one of these buttons calls the exact same function, but with a different number as a parameter to that function. So the way I did this is I clicked button, I clicked node, I clicked press, and then I pressed enter twice, which creates the connection to that button. And I just mashed it out with the keyboard and then went through and changed them. So that, again, sometimes the 200 IQ play is to do the 50 IQ play, because I knew that it would just work. I knew the whole thing would take me 30 seconds or whatever it was, 1 minute. But I got it out there, and yeah, so how would you actually do this? I don't actually know. I don't actually know the right way to do this. So one way that you could do it would be to write your own button class, and then that inherits from the regular button, and then you could like add some kind of variable there. I'm just thinking out loud, to be honest. There's probably a way that you can do it where you override it, but you probably still need to establish which button is which. I don't know if you want to tie a really tight connection with the text. I guess that is what you would do, right? You would maybe like programmatically populate the buttons with the text, and they would have like some kind of inherent ID to them. And then when you actually they can just call a function and they will already know themselves. They would have some kind of ID associated with them. Maybe button has an ID already. Maybe you don't even need to. Maybe you don't even need to inherit from it and write your own class. There might be, yeah. I just don't know that about button, the button class. There could be some fields. Yeah, maybe one of these has ID or something like this. I don't know. That's one way to do it. We'll see. This is one of the reasons that I did this jam as well, was to force myself to do things that I didn't know how to do. Obviously, I've got quite a lot of programming experience, but really quite new to Godot, so still kind of grasping at straws sometimes. So that's kind of that function. I think that's basically everything. I do want to talk a little bit about the audio, because I honestly think I don't remember exactly, but it was something like 6 minutes left when I started doing the audio. It was something truly absurd, and I'd never done audio in Godot before, and I Googled it. It said just add this class, audio stream player 2D, and then hit play. And so I had a bunch of royalty free sounds just already downloaded on my computer, and I just used those. I put them in, and it actually took 2 or 3 minutes, and full credit to the Godot engine that I'd never done audio before. It was just a handful of minutes, and I added a sound to the intro, I added a sound to the main part of the game, like a background music, adjusted the volume of that as well, and added the clicking buttons for all the buttons, as well as the left and right arrow. Did all of that. It was really 3 minutes or something truly absurd, and it happened, and it saved me saved me from having a silent game, which was really cool. So credits is just a single screen. The final the final screen is just these buttons. These are just 3 buttons. They just emit on correct or on incorrect, and that's basically it. So that's that's the game. That's my kind of code review. I want to also review a little bit about the game itself. So as far as the code goes, for a project of this size, none of the problems that I pointed out are really that bad. If I wanted to turn this into a bigger project, then I would, immediately rectify a bunch of those problems. But none of them are really that bad. If I were to go on and do another 5 hours of development on this, for example, then I probably don't even need another solution for putting the text files somewhere else. They're kind of just fine there. For example, if I want to add translations, then obviously I want to do something like that. So I think the code, I think it's honestly passable. It's a much higher quality than I was expecting to write and prepared to write. I would have been prepared to really just go for it. But that was cool. So that's the code. As far as gameplay is concerned, you haven't built a game if you haven't gotten any feedback and acted on that feedback. There's a quote. There's no, a game, if you want to evoke a particular thing, for example, if you want someone to have fun, then it's effectively impossible to do that without a really tight feedback loop of having people that are not yourself play a game, listening to what they think about it, and watching what they do when they play it, and then making changes, right? So the game is horrendously imbalanced, right? I think it's too hard. I don't know. I haven't had any direct feedback. I don't actually have any idea. But when I was done, as I just mentioned, I had literally 0 time to play. I didn't play it a single time within the 3 hours. Literally just clicked all the buttons to see if they worked, and that was it. The time was done. So I think it's I think it's way too hard. I think the story is too much for the format, and I think it's too dry. I think the game, like if you really want like a visual novel or something like that, then a visual novel would be better and more images, more imagery, more sound effects. Maybe there could be cutscenes. Like certain questions would do different things. For example, like every single question that you click, it does the same thing, right? It changes what's on this little phone, a bunch of text, right? So why doesn't this question like trigger something different that takes you out of what you're currently doing? Or maybe when you get to 6% battery, the butler interrupts you and asks you a question, and there's nothing like that. Also, if you haven't solved it after 18 questions, then you just have to guess. So that's like more fun would be either, I'll just stop that music. More fun would be if if you could tell the game when you were done, or if the game had a better sense of how much you knew, so you weren't just kind of like thrust into giving an answer. Some people will be already finished and they'll know the answer, and so they should be able to click it earlier and say I'm done. And if you haven't finished it, then it would be more fun to keep exploring than to be forced to make an answer to do it. So yeah, I think the balancing is off. I think the mechanic of the ending is off. I think my girlfriend did a really good job of the art. I think that's really cool, but I think there's so much more you could do. Like I was saying, bringing in extra things like a cutscene or something like this. And then I think the other thing is like making the story clearer. I just got too excited, right? I just had this like relatively rich idea of this cryogenics company where like an incident had happened in the past and they were at a retreat after that incident had occurred. And at that retreat there was a murderer, and so you have to like understand the motivations. So like it's a good story in that sense, right? Like the motivation is like this kind of like previous event. There's this thing that's just happened, and it means something, and they're all kind of like figuring out what that incident was. So that's a good story from that perspective, but the presentation of that idea, it's too opaque, it's too obscure to really like feel that story. I have like in writing like a whole bunch of stuff that happened that's nowhere in the game. It's supposed to be in the game through these answers, but it's just not enough. So that's my game. That's fun. I want to take a look at some of the other submissions now. So here it is. IC Call. It's a cryogenics company, and so like frozen people, and then they're also like snowed in a manor in the retreat. So that's the IC. And then the word sounds like icicle. So that's where that name came from. So I want to play some of these others and see what they're like. So this is going to be fun. So I took a look at a couple of these. I don't remember which ones I've done or not. Run just. I'm really worried my volume's going to be too high. So let's have a look. So this is finish the game
Hey Billy, we are gonna be home in 1 minute. I hope you are not playing games again.
Is it working? Okay. I can't go down. Did it say that? Okay, so I have 60 seconds. Oh no. Can I go up there? Okay. So if you take the wrong path, then you're just done, right? Because you can't go down. You won 33 seconds. Very nice. The not turning back mechanic was nice. Yeah, totally. Really cool. It's crazy you can build this in 3 hours. Like, that was really, really fun. So the phone call was 2 hours, 50 minutes. There you go. So someone receives a phone call and they need to get to the door, I think. So good. Sarah's Labyrinth. What do we think this is? So 7 hours. So I don't know if they had a team. I don't know if they had a team building it. So if they had 3 people and they did like 3 hours, 1 hour, for example, then that would be legitimate entry to the jam. New game. Oh, this is this. I think I've checked out this one before. Huh? What happened? Where am I? How did I end up here? Hang on. Who am I? I don't remember. I don't remember. Lara. Am I Lara? I think my name is Lara. Was it Mara? How come I can't remember my own name? Take a deep breath and stay calm, Sarah. Sarah, that's it. My name is Sarah. Or do you pronounce that Sarah? Maybe my accent is leading me astray because I would say Lara, Mara, and Sarah. That could be a quirk of Down Under. I hear a phone. Well, there you go. We're on theme. Oh, click to walk. Very cool. Help, I'm lost. I'm gonna go down here. Strange, there's no one here. This is cool. There's a phone. Answer the phone. You're lost, Sarah, but I can help you. Follow the instructions and you'll find your way back. What's happening? I feel so tired. Act 2, the alley. I'm trying to click. So, wait, we just woke up. This is like a fever dream. I don't know what to do. Alright, so we can move with the arrow keys. And we can push the blocks. There we go. Puzzle. Oh, have I ruined it? Oh, you can push them onto the side. Very cool. And then we're down here and we're out. The walking is faster when you click. Phew, how heavy. I almost couldn't get past. I really almost couldn't get past them. Man, there's so much in here. Just compare like how much. Oh, the phone. The phone ringing again. I need maybe get some leads. Compare how much is in this versus my game. You're being watched, Sarah. No, trust no one. Who are you? Where am I? These are the right kind of questions to ask at the point of knowing. And what's the point of knowing where you are if you can't see what's right in front of your eyes? Act 3, the escape, city in shadows. Do I have health and mana? It's much darker here. What should I do? Well, that is a lot darker. And why am I barefoot? Where are my sneakers? Well, I can play on the slide, can't I? Unfortunate. Okay, so we're probably looking for a phone again. Whoa! There's glass all over the floor. I have to be careful. We are going yippee-ki-yay mode. What's that movie called? Alrighty. Is it? Oh, we can't go up there. Okay. I can just barely see. Hey, my sneakers. What are they doing here? Do I have them on? Unclear. Just realized I can go full screen. There we go. Did I go in? I don't see a better option. Okay, a lot to check out. Sync. Ooh, there's the phone. I think I might have missed some content. So, Sarah, where should we go now? Where it all began. Where it all began. Alright, very cool. I wonder if there was a different ending if I'd chosen the other option. But unfortunately, we're not going to find out. Very, very cool. Call your grandma. Very nice. I think I saw this person posted in the Discord super early. So I think this person finished before a lot of people, but that doesn't mean they spent less time. Call your grandma.
Please don't be an emergency. Please
Wow.
don't be an emergency.
A phone?
Congratulations, you've won a free trip to Hawaii. Take me off your goddamn list.
Very cool.
Why do I even put it in?
Okay, so you find the phone.
Just call the
Is it
landline.
in the same spot? No.
Just
I
call the
got really
landline.
lucky the first time I played it.
Why do we have two of these?
There's the phone.
Hey,
Done.
Grandma's
11
in
seconds.
the hospital again. Doesn't seem like she's
Are we gonna
gonna
speed
make
run?
it. Oh,
We're gonna beat
Why
6
do I even
seconds.
put it in here? Please don't be an emergency.
hey,
3
Grandma's in the
seconds.
hospital again. Doesn't seem like she's gonna make it.
So there's physics.
but
So
I
I
just
was
spoke with
clicking
her
in.
yesterday and
Oh
she's-
goodness, it sounds a bit loud. That's very, very cool. The I was like clicking and moving stuff away. I didn't mention that. A physics game, a 3D physics game in 3 hours. That's very, very cool. Right on. 256. Yeah. I like everyone. It looks like everyone was kind of the same. Like, just coming absolutely down to the wire. This game is made for Trijam. Your computer virus is being caught hacking into phone calls. You are being forced to kill your own kind. There is no escape, or is there? Controls. Oh, mobile, right. Mouse and keyboard, arrow key movement, mouse shooting. Okay, so. Alright, we're moving our hands around a little bit. Okay, so we got no jump. I don't know what that is. I missed some text on the screen. Oh, goodness. Okay, so that's my health. Can I hold it down? No. Virus is terminated. Okay, nice. Oh, I shouldn't maybe be in the middle. Oh, I can kind of like bait them to stay up the top. How good is it? It looks so cool. It's like 3D glasses. Anyone else think that wall looks suspicious? Simulation deactivated. Restart. Okay, so I obviously have to go somewhere else. It said there's no escape. That's why I wasn't really trying, oh goodness, to go anywhere. Can I go out this one? No. So I can't tell if they were baiting when they said there's no escape, or is there? Can I do like some kind of jump? Can I get anywhere else from here? Out here. Kill this thing. I don't know. Has anyone... I turned off the simulation successfully. Well, I didn't. Very cool. That art style, I don't know, like... I'm trying to think if I've seen it before, like, deliberately, like, 3D glasses. Like, you're not wearing 3D glasses look. Attempted 3. Yeah, I wonder if it works with like actual 3D glasses. That would be insane. Maybe, yeah, maybe it does. Warning, flash, strong sound and flashing lights. Let's turn the volume down just a tiny bit then. Space to look left and right. Your goal is to hang all the phones. Like hang the phones up. Better experience with headphones on. Well, that's me. I am going to have the better experience. End all the calls. Very cool. Space to look left and right. Oh, this is really nice. Space? No? Space? Look at the art. This looks cool. Oh, It's this. The sound is in the left and right ear. So if I'm on this screen and I hear one, then I hear it in both headphones. But I heard that one in the right headphone and the left. That's very cool. Left and right audio. Oh goodness. Oh, that one went yellow. Oh goodness. Oh, this is ramping up. This is... I'm not going to succeed. Oh, they're all red. No, not again. Not again. No. No, stop. That's very cool. That is... the art was so nice. How did they do that? Did they make all of that? That's very cool. 315. I don't know if that counts. This is my first time entering. This 315, I wanted to count. That was very, very cool. Phone Rush. So, it's my entry for Trijam. Yeah, I spent approximately 3 hours and 15. Yeah, I wonder if that's allowed. I hope it is, because it's like, it's so close. This project, I decided to experiment with a pixel art style by utilizing the pre-built system. I was kind of looking for the theme. Okay, well, the main objective of the game is to answer the ringing phones while avoiding giant ninja stars. Okay. So the title did look like full screen. Is that me answering the phone? What is this? Do I click on the phone? Oh, because it automatically cards for me. I might accidentally run it. I'm hoping this is good. Can we zoom in? There we go. So that's ringing. That's ringing. So it cards automatically, so I need to not run into a ninja star. Which so far has not been a huge danger to me. The coins, I also don't understand. Whoa! Very cool. Okay, so let's... I understand. So this level is much more difficult, I guess. Okay, we're taking a wide berth. We're going around the stars. It's crazy what you can build in 3 hours. Like, there's so much in this. Look at how many like things there are in the background. It looks really nice. This is cool. Okay, last one. Okay, I think that might be enough of that. There's a lot in there. I think the sound, the audio is getting a bit much, but very cool. Alright. WSAD. Phone is E. Well, I've used WASD before. Level 1. Disturbance night. Why does the phone ring at night? Go to phone. Oh, I probably don't want to get seen by that. Oh, is that the phone? Another disruption. What? Really? It's unclear. I'm pretty sure I don't want to get seen by that beam. It's mad. Ooh! I should try. I don't want to go back to the beginning. Oh goodness. I mean, it has to be the game, but you have to avoid that. Very cool. Let me see what happens if you get hit by the thing. I think I finished it though. Oh, now the phone's off, and you can't get it. Yeah, cool. Very nice. Disturbance in the night. Very fitting. Call of a phone. Was left click. I took a look at this one already, but didn't get to play it too much. There's a lot up the top of the screen. I wonder how much of that is going to get used. My shot's getting randomized. I think I like... Yeah, so they, Oh, you can hold it down. Very nice. Speed? Power? I don't know. Power? Oh, look at that. Okay. I don't know if I have more power. Were they dying in 3? I mean, you never know with these games because like sometimes the waves get stronger, and so if I hadn't bought the power upgrade, it would have taken me more than I was expecting. What do we think this is? Maybe it's more bullets? Was I gonna run out of bullets? I don't know. Is shooting fast enough? Oh, is this getting harder? Is this getting tricky? Okay, maybe some speed. This game feels well balanced, which sounds impossible to do in 3 hours. Are these phones? No, I'm a phone. They also look like phones, like an old school phone, right? Their face looks a little bit like phone. How cute is my character? Oh, ooh, I lost the health. The difficulty level is very good. Like this, I'm engaged. I don't know if I'm going to succeed. Oh yeah, as I said, oh no. Oh, I'm in the corner, I should not be in the corner. Am I gone? Okay, yeah, I died. Well done. This is very, very nice. The aesthetic's really cool. Color palette. The drawing. The balance feels nice. That's a very, very good game for 3 hours. Pizza Panic. Download. Sorry about that. I will be playing. This is also a download. I will be playing online games.